Alright guys, welcome back to another Shrine review for today. And so let's get right into this one. Today we have kind of an interesting build, or kind of an interesting selection of perks for the Shrine. So let's get right into them. First up we have Quick and Quiet. This is a teachable perk from Meg Thomas. What this will do is every 30 seconds you will be able to fast vault a window or a locker or a pallet, and it will make literally no audio at all. I think this is a really solid perk on its own, and it does have a lot of synergy with other perks such as Inner Strength and Head On to try and just use a locker to go for a stun, heal yourself in the middle of a chase, stuff like that. So I think Quick Guide's a really solid perk to try and throw killers off for sure, and I definitely recommend getting this. But honestly, since it is from Meg Thomas, you can absolutely just level her up and get it there. I believe it's her level 30 perk, so you should be able to get this pretty quickly for your teachables. Next up, we have Vigil. This is a perk from Quentin Smith, and essentially, you and anyone within 8 meters of you will recover from the exhausted status effect significantly faster. I think it's 20% faster at rank 3, if I'm not wrong. It is 10% faster rank 1 here. And actually, it's exhausted status effect isn't the only thing it helps out. If I'm going to be completely honest, it helps out with the exhausted status effect, hemorrhage, mangled, hindered, and blindness, meaning that all these effects are going to be on you for a lot less time. But of course, most survivors generally run this for the exhaustion status effect being faster. This is honestly a decent perk. I don't think it's going to be meta at any point, unless it gets buffed a lot. But I mean, it's not a bad perk at all. But it's also very situational, is a thing. You generally only see this with builds like Sprint Burst, Vigil, Fixated, stuff like that to try and keep up and use your exhaustion perks multiple times in a chase potentially. But odds are you're not really gonna get a chance to. So honestly, I don't think this perk is worth getting. If you want this to try it out for a fun build, I absolutely recommend it because I mean you can have a lot of fun playing Survivor and constantly having Sprint Burst or Dead Hard up. So definitely not one to overlook, but definitely not one I would be super worried about getting. Let's get into our killer perks. First up, we have Hex the Third Seal. Essentially, what this does is it spawns a hex totem, and whenever that hex totem is up, any survivor that you hit will have the blindness status effect applied to them indefinitely until the totem breaks. At tier 4, this will apply to all all 4 survivors you hit. At tier 3, it'll only be the last 2 survivors you've hit, and at tier 2, tier 3 would be the last 3, tier 2 would be the last 2 survivors you've hit. So essentially, what this means is the third seal you need to have it at tier 3 absolutely if you're going to be running it, because you need to have all 4 survivors affected by the blinded status effect if you want to get any value out of this perk. But aside from that, I think this perk is definitely solid in a slugging build. Of course, slugging builds do suffer to survive with friends because they can just call out where they are on the map, and that ends up hurting them, hurting the killer. But this perk definitely isn't terrible, but again, it's not really the best perk in the game. I did forget to mention it comes from the Hag, so you can just unlock this through her Blood Web as well if you want to. But I personally wouldn't be buying it from the Shrine. And last but not least, of course, we have Remember Me. This is a teachable from Freddy the Nightmare. Essentially what this does is anytime you hit your obsession with a basic attack, it'll give you 1 stack all the way up to 4 stacks. At tier 1, this will only go up to 2 stacks, all the way up to 4 stacks at tier 3. So again, this is one of those perks you want to have at tier 3 for sure, and this will slow down the exit gates by 4 seconds for every stack you have. So if you hit the survivor 4 times, get your 4 stacks, you will have the exit gates take an extra 16 seconds to unlock. So instead of 20 seconds, it'll be a total of 36 seconds. But this doesn't apply to the obsession, so the obsession is still alive towards the end game. They can just open an exit gate in 20 seconds like they normally would. Remember Me, I don't know. This isn't a good perk in my opinion. It used to be able to slow the gates down by I think up to an entire half minute on its own, but they've nerfed it to be only 16 seconds. So I personally wouldn't really bother getting this from the Shrine unless you really want to go for an endgame build like Remember Me, Noed, Blood Warden, maybe Bitter Murmur to combo with it. I think that's the only way you get use out of this perk, however. But anyways, guys, that's been it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.